We are living in an era full of misinformation. There are people who don't believe global warming is real. There are people who don't believe COVID is real. There are people who are drinking bleach. People just don't know what news to trust, especially online. This stems from a breakdown of traditional journalism. This industry is going down thanks to the rise of internet journalism and kind of internet news and Google and Facebook. In 2006, advertising revenue for newspapers was $50 billion. Now it's $14 billion. There are half as many newspaper employees now. At the same time, the internet has brought us some really amazing things, especially when you look at what people are doing together online. Take Wikipedia, for instance. It's this massive online encyclopedia that users work together to create. One study published in Nature found that Wikipedia was just as accurate as Encyclopedia Britannica. And that's not surprising. Crowds can be incredibly wise. Dozens of studies find that crowds are wiser than individuals. That's why we're creating an app to combine the power of crowds with the knowledge of experts. It's called News Detective, and it's basically a crowd-based fact-checking app, kind of like Wikipedia for fact-checking. Basically, users rate articles for truthfulness, and those ratings, which are created on this website, they actually appear in a little button that shows up under Facebook posts, under Google articles, under Twitter. So people using it can just instantly look at an article and see how it's been rated. There are policies in place to make sure you don't just have a bunch of biased users rating things incorrectly. You have to pass a tutorial in order to rate, and this tutorial was made by very experienced fact checkers who've been in the field for 20, 30 years. And on top of that, the app is self-policing. So users don't only rate articles, they rate each other. And users who have higher ratings, their ratings count for more. And they can monitor other users to make sure there aren't trolls or biased people screwing up all the ratings. This is a huge solution for the disinformation problem. It's completely transparent. You can see who rated something and why they rated it. And in fact, one MIT study even found that crowds are decent at fact-checking articles on social media. It's not that individuals are great at picking out disinformation, it's just that if you get huge crowds together, they average out to be pretty wise about all this. And the potential is huge. The English edition of Wikipedia alone has grown to over 6 million articles. That's like 2,700 print volumes of Encyclopedia Britannica. We took surveys and we found that 92% of people surveyed said they would want this kind of app if it came out. It's also important because it doesn't restrict free speech. Right now, Facebook and Google are kind of stuck in this difficult situation where they want to monitor what happens there. They don't want to spread disinformation. But they don't want to stop being a place where users can express themselves and people can think whatever they want to think. So this does not get in the way of that. It's completely voluntary. People can download it. People can see why things are rated certain ways. They can decide if they agree or disagree. And most importantly, it has the potential to cover everything that comes out. Facebook's never going to hire enough moderators to look at every article that's posted. That's just not realistic. Only the power of crowds is going to be able to do that. It's going to be able to deal with that volume.